Albuquerque, New Mexico, calm, peaceful, and beautiful from 10,000 feet up. But like any other town, it isn't without its problems.
The big crime problems in Albuquerque are related to property crimes, and mostly we see people committing burglaries, robberies, auto thefts, different thefts of property, identity and such for the purposes of fueling their drug habits. They don't care how many doors they have to kick in, how many neighborhoods they have to ravage through, how many people's jewelry boxes and heirlooms they need to steal to fuel their habit, but we're trying to get that message out to people that these people are drug addicted and they will do what they need to do to feed their habit.
The drug of choice is often methamphetamine, and Albuquerque has a comprehensive approach to removing labs from all kinds of buildings.
Well, the Albuquerque Police Department has taken a very aggressive stance as far as methamphetamine manufacture and sale in the city of Albuquerque. We know what it does as far as the crimes that are associated with it. And so we were making very, very, very aggressive efforts to keep it out of our community. And when we do find a meth lab, we're quick to address it, take it down, and prosecute the people who are responsible.
Spreading the word is key, and the department's meth trailer is always ready to go.
We keep ourselves educated on the latest trends, and our meth team is very good at doing that, of getting information out to officers. If you see these kinds of blister packs, that's indicative of a meth lab. If you see this ingredient, that's indicative of a meth lab. If you smell this scent, that's indicative of a meth lab. And not only do we train our police officers, we also train people in our community, people that run hotels and motels, because oftentimes we see these meth labs set up in hotels and motels. And we train everybody in the community that wants to know what should I look for to find a meth lab.
Officers often find children living in the houses where their parents are making meth. The police have a procedure they follow.
The kids get turned over more than likely to our state, which is Children, Youth and Families, our state organization. You cannot raise a child in a house where there's a meth lab, an active meth lab, and the dangers that are associated with it. A child's safety is paramount. So even if it means we've got to take the child from mommy or daddy right then and there, that's what we're going to do to make sure that child is safe.
Almost all law enforcement departments have narcotics teams working on meth cases. The Albuquerque PD takes things even further with two unique teams.
The Safe City Strike Force is a coordinated effort between the City Attorney's Office, City Planning, which handles our code enforcement and zoning, and the Fire Marshal's Office, as well as, of course, the Albuquerque Police Department, in order to address properties that have problems across a broad spectrum, whether they be a basis for criminal activity or just something the neighbors are concerned about. There are other jurisdictions that do various levels of integrating code enforcement and doing legal action, those sorts of things. I think we're unique in the level of coordination that we undertake.
This empty lot is a result of strike force efforts.
Initially, you had a neighbor call in about the condition of the house, which was beginning to get run down. From there, we started a file on it and had been observing the house, and then a short time later we received a call about frequent coming and going from the property. So the code inspector had some concerns, but then the detective who works with him was able to put two and two together and say, hey, based on everything I'm seeing, we need to have narcotics look at this property.
There was a meth lab inside. The meth team dismantled everything, but the house was a contaminated mess, so code enforcement condemned it. The strike force efforts kicked in again.
We have two ordinances, a meth ordinance that establishes violations for meth contamination specifically, and then we have another criminal nuisance abatement ordinance, which basically says that you can be declared a nuisance, and that is a further violation. The city can take action against you.
And the city did act by bulldozing the contaminated house. Albuquerque will get some of its money back.
There's a lien placed on the property, and so whoever buys this particular property will have to clear the lien and pay back the city for the demolition prior to being able to purchase it.
The team's efforts mean peace of mind for anyone trying to buy property that was once a meth lab.
You have a whole team, environmental health, code inspectors, zoning inspectors, code enforcement officials, fire marshal, all these different things that can be brought to bear on the property owner to ensure that a thorough cleaning of the property is done, the remediation is done properly. The purchasing realtor on behalf of their client can call up the city and have absolute, and be shown the files that yes, the home has been remediated and tested, or in this case, there's no other problems with this property at all, and so the buyer can feel safe. And so you're able to redevelop this and the other plots of land around the city.
The members of the other special team come out when it's dark. They're members of NIGHT, the Albuquerque Police Department's night investigations team.
We're a team consisting of 8 detectives and myself as a supervisor. And what we do is we coordinate data from our crime analysis unit, the burglary unit, auto theft, Crime Stoppers, and we try to locate where our problem areas are. And with that given information, we try to come up with ideas or strategies to try to eliminate at least some of the percentage as far as the property crime rates that are occurring.
The newspaper has noted the team's successes. The goal is to find the people committing the property crimes that fuel drug habits before they commit the crime.
Within the first month, we've already had individuals that we were looking for say, we knew you guys were looking for us. We knew you guys were looking for us. And so that's a good thing. We want them to know that, hey, we're out there and we'll go undercover. I mean, we'll get guys in a wheelchair on Central with a wallet sticking out with money, and we'll see who's going to be that one guy who's going to try to bite the bait, because it may be something small, but that one individual could be responsible for multiple smash and grabs or perch snatching. That's who I want.
The ultimate goal of the Albuquerque Police Department? To make the city as calm, peaceful, and beautiful down there as it is up on the mountain that overlooks it.